There's the host, Val Southern here, all Mason, Allah Akbar.
This is Kadar Franks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Peace to Kelly Cal.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Adam Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Adam Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Peace, family, peace. Shout out to I am James Wallace West.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica.
Shout out to Andrew Berry.
This is Luna. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Come on out.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Silver Kevin, all my Silver Nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I want to give a shout out to my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
I'm chilling, family. Just get ready for this show. We'll have a powerful, hopefully a powerful conversation. But it'll be even more powerful if I get my family to call in tonight. A little bit of house music created by Delford Childborn.
This is Cleveland, and you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Don't break that box.
Hey, Hotep. It's Mansour Hotep, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity doesn't sound good. I think it sounds great. Right now, you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry your name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to the Gye-Nyame tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up. Peace.
I don't know what be going on with you.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, take care of your name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to Gye-Nyame tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Peace.
Pull them up. What? That was you.
This is Gina.
This is Gina.
And you are now
Now you listen to my dad.
on Gye-Nyame
Gye-Nyame
Radio.
Radio.
Peace.
Peace.
What's up, Miss Lundy? We have had enough. Family. Journey. Oh, of course, you know this is Gye-Nyame Journey. Of course, you know this is Folktales for Grown Folks. This is a Heart of the Summer production.
Wait, which side to blow up your old paradise?
See, if I know y'all was gonna be here, I'd have put the camera on the wide angle. All right, so I'm joined by my ladies tonight. I have nowhere to go. I want to apologize to all my family on Spreaker, but the phone lines are open. Shouts out to Miss Jill Lundy. Happy New Year's to John Paul DeWitt. He doing his little thing right now. Shouts out to Anne Marie Berry. Shouts out. Who else on this? Who else online? I am James Wallace West III. Fam. So we're about to do Folktales for Grown Folks. For those who have never, we are going to share a folktale. And then we're going to discuss it. Now, I'm going to keep the language kind of limited because my little ladies is here tonight. You know, it is a grown folk discussion because I try to stress to people that these folktales are for children. I need people to really, really understand this because these folktales have a lot of lessons for us, a lot of jewels that we could use to move our life forward, right? A lot of solutions to some of the problems that are facing us right now today. Even though the folktales that I'm pulling off right now are Aesop Fables, which are over 2,000 years old, so it's still consistent in them. That's why I love them so much. Pretty soon we'll be moving to the African American folktales and maybe going into some as well. The only issue is that these are long.
Can I say something?
Don't do that, Gina. Get in trouble. All right, go ahead, Sasha. Say something.
Somewhere tomorrow.
Maybe we have a funeral. Family died, and made a transition. And we want to go and we may be rolling up there, but you know the weather's kind of funny right now. And I don't know about having these kids out like that, but hey, want to make the journey, I'm willing to get in the car and drive. So without any further ado, well,
How that be a number?
Well, go ahead, tell them the number.
4.
We got a call in, so we're gonna go use these settings. Check 1, check 2. Boom, I need to go off. All right, Shaka, hold on for a second. Brother Shaka is on the line. Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. All right, cool. We're gonna use these settings. I'm calling in. Brother Shaka is calling in. If you want to call in, tell them the number.
614-55.
Joining conference now. This call is being recorded.
614-55. 4535.
556-4535. 614. And if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it in a leadership voice. They go the number right there. Say it. Say the number.
614 556 4535.
Okay, so you're gonna get all shy on me. I see.
No.
Yeah, that's what that is. All right, so feel free to call in. We got a discussion. You can also still post your stuff up the screen, and I'll read it out. I'm trying to keep everybody in. And then, Brother Shaka, how are you doing tonight?
How you doing?
I'm surrounded by love right now.
Absolutely. I hear it.
So when Stephen Houston is on, just like my video. Why don't you call in at 614-556-4535? Put my glass down. 556-4535. So we're gonna talk about the Proverbs, but first, I just wanted to let people know we had one of the livest Kwanzas. It went down. It was a powerful piece, and we will be planning for next year's. Probably start next month. Or actually,
I heard Oprah wanted to do a movie on you.
Hey, we're in negotiations, and I don't know if we're gonna give Oprah the movie rights. Ms. Kwanzaa, we're in negotiations right now. Miss
Gotcha.
Oprah, if you want to, you might have to, we got some competition. You got some competition. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is we had a marvelous Kwanzaa this year. And I got done yesterday, like I was coming off of a strong high because that whole week was hyped up. You know what I'm saying? Because to be able to run by us, doing a festival that is for us, people that look like us, and no conflict. You know what I'm saying? Might have been a little bit of arguing, because when you're organizing, you know what I'm saying? Because in order for stuff to happen, right? So it was marvelous. We're back to the regular days now. So today, tomorrow, we will be discussing Ujima. Right now, Gina, we'll go a little bit farther about the day names. So we are discussing day names. We're gonna get back to Ambrosia. We're gonna get back any newsworthy events. That's missing in the morning is you. Now, when starting next week, my job, the lines won't be open for this week, but you know what I'm saying, for the evening shows, just like now, lines are open at 614-4535. Miss Gina just typed it up for me, so I'm trying to train them. They can get my production crew together. So the only major thing in the news for me is one, black media is totally under attack. Understand that. So in a sense, ones to get the news out. You know what I'm saying? We may be the ones that have to get the news out, so we're gonna have to be very clear on that. Very, very. Oh yeah, you gotta drink the water, especially in the morning. I just downed the water right now. But right now I'm sipping on some ambrosia so we can settle down, get it right, so that we gonna have this powerful conversation. The folk tale for the night is called The Dog's House. What's happened this morning? Look it up for the conversation that's about to come. And without any further ado, let me shots though. For this year's Kwanzaa, I want to send shots out to Sister Herb Jallo, Kojo Ababio, Malik Willoughby, Allende West, of course, Jill Jackson, Nicole Pittman, Elder Isir, Fadia, Elder Gray, Emily Bailey. Miss Emily Bailey made sure that all the kids that came to her function got books to start their library. As a matter of fact, and my kids done already got it, so I don't know what to do. What's up?
What did you?
Yeah, I pinned it up. That means that it's gonna stay right there while all this stuff move. It'll stay up there so people can always get the number, right? And if they want to come in, they can come in. Family, and start this discussion. The name of the day, the dog's house. In the wintertime, curled up in a small possible on account of the cold, determined to make himself a house. The summer returned again, stretched at his full length, and appeared to be of a great size. Now he considered neither an easy nor a necessary work to make himself such as would accommodate him. I'm gonna read that again because I'm stumbling. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. In the wintertime, a dog curled up in as small a space as possible on account of the cold. Make himself a house. However, when the summer returned again, he lay asleep, stretched at his full length, and appeared to himself to be. Now he considered that it would be neither an easy nor a necessary work to make himself such a house as would accommodate him. All right, Brother Shaka, start that off, man, or you want me to start off?
I know why.
I'd rather you start this one off, my brother.
Gina says she got something to say. You know why? What? Go ahead, Gina.
To read that dog story over again.
Why?
Because you missed Power.
I didn't think about it like that. I do miss Power. I had a dog named Power. It was around for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, Power never had to worry about making a dog house because Power was a house dog. And he stayed in the house just in case I ever had somebody that wanted to violate my space. Power was there. I was just talking about Power yesterday with one of my brothers. All right, so we have a dog who during the wintertime is shivering and cold, holds up into a little ball as possible. And during the wintertime, the dog says, man, house. But when the summertime roll around, got all big, enjoying himself in the sun.
Daddy, dogs can't talk.
And it goes down in the Gye-Nyame house. All right, so here we go. Now listen. In the summertime, the dog shouts out to Sister Shannon. The dog stretch out and decides hard for him to build a doghouse. Family. On the individual level and on the group level, Aesop has done it again. Now I'm gonna read the story for you again. Get this. It's pertinent because many of us are living our life like this. As a community, we may be setting ourselves up just like this. And I want y'all to listen to this very close. I want y'all to do some wisdom mining. I want you to pull out your thinking caps. I want you to pull out your tools so that you can start doing some wisdom mining with me. You need to start getting it. You need to get this jewel because this jewel may be the thing that you need about this, family. Really, look, listen. In the wintertime, what's the season right now? I'm in Columbus right now.
Winter.
It's wintertime. Okay.
It's no winter.
And what goes on in wintertime? And the snow comfortable? No. When you sleep in the snow.
I just call you
Because, right. Time a dog curled up in as small a space as possible on account of the cold, determined to make himself a house. The summer returned again. He lay asleep, stretched at his full length, and appeared to himself to be of great size. It would be neither an easy nor necessary work to make himself such a house as would accommodate him. So this dog is curled up real small and tight and shivering and in an uncomfortable situation. And is determined again, and it's going to build a house, right? We've been there before. All of us have been in an uncomfortable situation, and we told ourselves we was going to make preparations so we would never be in this situation again. Time came, he stressed out. Not only did he stress out, he looked at himself and he said, man, I'm kind of big. I don't think I want to go and make me a house right now. When it was time for him to build the house, changed his mind. Now, this is what I want to tell you. As human beings, we have the means, the ability to influence our behavior rather than having our environment behavior. Do you understand? Was in a terrible condition and pledged to himself that he was going to do whatever it took in order to erect what he needs so he would never have to go through this again. But once he got comfortable, the dog easy to construct the very structure that would protect him from the very thing that he swore that he would never go through again. Now I want y'all to think about this. How many of us live our life like this? We go through a hard time. We say we're going to prepare. We go through a hard time. We say we're going to change. We go through a hard relationship. We say we're going to protect ourselves the next time. We go through this and we ball up into a small ball. As the situation leaves, a little bit of respite, we stretch out and be like, oh man, it'd be too much work for me to change. Oh, it'd be too much work for me to study in advance. Oh, it'd be too much work for me to practice that skill. Oh, it'd be too much work. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna sit here and chill. I'm gonna hit us. Dog is caught in a cycle. Has an ability to change, but because of his laziness, change it. And every winter, he will be caught in the same situation, doing the same thing, wishing and promising himself that he will have built a house. Building your houses. How many of y'all are now preparing for your retirement? Are not studying for that test you may need to study for? Or how many of y'all are not enrolling for school? You know what I'm saying? Because the job, they kind of let up on you on your job a little bit. You know, it's the holiday season, so you don't want to kind of sour everybody's. How many of us are caught in bad situations right now, promising ourselves that we're going to make a change as soon as we get an opportunity? But our
Brother Hakim, I'm going to tell you something, man.
Go ahead.
Wholeheartedly.
Hey, that's what the show for.
In fact, I'm going to advocate for this dog because I know something about the seasons, man.
Okay.
I was just having a conversation earlier today regarding resolution and why people wait until the new year to start a new behavior. They somehow want to align their practice with the season you know, historically, even like the monsoons really controlled our import, export, it controlled our way of life, right?
Right.
Going back to what Gina was saying about the dogs don't talk.
That was Sasha.
Right.
Right.
I had to think in the back of my mind. And I said, you know, she's right. And actually, when the dog is saying, "Me a house," while it's cold outside, really, I see that as a prayer, a request to the universe, bring him shelter. Now, in the summertime, when he's sprawled out and he look all big and useful, the same cues into the universe, because everybody knows, and he knew when he said, "I need to build me a house."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you imagine that dog out there with a DeWalt drill, with a saw, measuring up stuff with the chalk line? That ain't what it is. One of us sees his usefulness as he's sprawled out and he's looking all big, and he understands life. He's in his mix. I can see somebody taking a dog like that in, a protector or fight.
I'm glad.
So at the end of the day, it's a very clever ploy, that dog.
So you advocating for the dog slavery?
I'm saying that sometimes you have disadvantage as your advantage. This dog has accepted that, you know what? This snow is some terrible, some rude ass shit right now, and I'm curled up in the ball trying to get my breath to heat my. I mean, you know, it's an uncomfortable situation. I'm sure in the back of his mind, he wants to do everything possible to find some shelter all winter long, and ain't nobody paying him no attention for itself.
There's every dog for itself.
Then the summer come around.
The summer came around.
And every dog that around that froze in the cold that didn't make it, but he did. The best thing for him to do, he ain't gonna write a note and say, you know what I did? He ain't gonna go down to the welfare office and, you know what I need? Funds. Nah. These dogs, they do what they do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they deal with their relationships is all the same way. You ever had a cat in your yard that you made the mistake and you fed one time? That cat acted loyal, like he is your cat. Like every day you came home, you know, I checked the mailman for you. He came in with the mud on his boots. I got him off the porch. So it's like, you know, they make themselves at home. And sometimes as human beings, we try that. At the gas station, like when you on your way in,
mm-hmm.
he spits you for some change right quick. He ain't asking you for change because it's already planted in your mind that that he wants for some change. I try to wash your windshield, pump your gas for you, help you with these groceries. I know those bags. We do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, you know, that's my take on it. What you feel about that?
Now, you brought up a good point. I said, once again, things line up because I missed a whole week, family. And then all of a sudden, well, Brother Shaka bring up the point about a New Year's resolution. Of us are like this dog with our New Year's resolution. Now, the story isn't necessarily just about a dog, and I know you know that, and I know you're just playing. The story is about somebody who has an opportunity to make a change, who has an opportunity to build, to prepare that is coming again, but in the midst of the joy, the hell that he went through. You know what I'm saying? So is when we look at this folktale, when we look at this fable, when we look at this story, we have to be able to really understand that it's not just talking about just necessarily the winter, because like, yeah, weather can dictate certain things for us, but we can prepare for the weather. We are thinking beings, and obviously this dog was a thinking being because it said this dog thought that he needed to build a house, and he had every idea, every thought to build a house. Our New Year's resolutions, we make promises to ourselves. We make promises to the world. I'm gonna lose that 15 pounds. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Soon as it starts, as soon as we start, and the warmth start coming in, we fall back into the habits that make us unsuccessful. People say we're gonna do certain things to make ourselves a little bit more successful. We're gonna read more. We're gonna meditate more. We're gonna do all these things to change our lives. Once we get comfortable, we stretch out like that dog. We stretch out. We just let it go. And I'm just saying, family, as individuals and as a group. So now let's take it to the group level. We like that dog. And like Shaka said, because like, you know, because what I like about what Shaka said, because I want y'all to really listen to it, because he playing with y'all, right? He playing. Shaka said that this dog, somebody to come and say, he threw out a thought to the universe. And many of us do that with our lives. We do that as a people. We're throwing thoughts and hope out into the universe and hoping that others will change. The thing that is certain about change is that if it's gonna happen, we got to make it happen. We got to take an action. We have to stand. We have to decide that hell, we're tired of being out in the cold. We need to build this shelter. Right, the new people, I'm gonna read the folktale. Those that want to call in, hit me up at 614-556-4535. Sister Tara House, I see you out there. The numbers at the top. 556-4535. Here is the folktale.
Tara House, why don't you call in? Numbers, I'll beatbox for you.
The dog's house. A dog curled up in a small space as possible on account of the cold, determined to make himself a house. When the summer returned again, he lay asleep, stretched out at his full length, and appeared to himself that it would be neither an easy nor a necessary work to make himself such a house as would accommodate him. Mind state changed on summer lasting forever. This is a common motif with this one. Those of you that read Aesop Fables, you remember the story of the ant grasshopper. This is a common motif. You think that seasons are going to last forever. But we think that the good times are constantly going to roll, but the universe and down, up and down. Now, and if we know this, then we need to be able to prepare. Like the dog, in the wintertime, think about this. In the wintertime, he was able to curl himself down. A small, tight package. It wouldn't be too big, too hard for him to make the house. Summertime came, he expanded, and he felt that he needed more room than he really needed. He needed to build a house. Now, I'm just gonna chill. We got friends like this. Some of them sleep on some of y'all couches out there right now. He didn't prepare for the winter, so he gonna eat up off of you. And like Shaka said, maybe you're answering somebody's prayer who's living their life like this. Life like this. We make it through the hard times, and then when the good times come, we start acting like they're gonna last forever. Like, for example, we all know people who the tax check, right? and run out, and like this money is going to last forever. And before you know it, it's all gone. Many of us do our checks like that. Or next time I get my check, man, I'm gonna put away 10% like I always promised I would. You know what I'm saying? Because they always say I need to put away 10%. The only thing the story is trying to do is to like warn us that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's shooting shots across our bows. So we'd be like, yo, and as people, we got to look at this story as well. As a group, we got to look at this story as well. As a community, as a city, we got to look at this story as well.
You know, on a community level, man, I feel like it's like this. It was based out of a place of acceptance. I feel like in the wintertime, as an individual, I've been here 5 seasons, man. At 5 years, I've been in a house that really doesn't stay during the wintertime. So I do what I can to create space in my house that does stay warm because it's drafty windows. But the piece is that in the wintertime, the things that I produce now because of my mobility, my own confines of my house.
Mm-hmm.
Now this season, I done put a brand new motor in the furnace. Got it working nice and toasty up in here. This is the first winter time that I'm able to spread out my behavior based on my environment. So, creating my place where I'm producing constantly for me in this era of my life because there's been so many cold seasons before. Times where it was just me. I'm that dog talking about building a house, but it's just me. Mm-hmm. As a community, I think that sometimes when we behave that way, in our conditioning, it's a place of acceptance. We have an ideal that we know we're not going to meet in this lifetime, so we just say it out loud. Or I'm going to build a house, building me a home. Hey, this ain't my permanent place anyway. For my home that's being built, I'm one of these on earth way into this next place, my home. So in the summertime, when a dog is sprawled out, that's just a place where it's like, hey, I'll get to this next place. As a society, that from individuals, that from even pastors from different churches saying that the people in the community ain't necessarily my flock. Hey, I'm going to treat my church the way that the Creator wants me to treat my church. And when it comes to everybody else, salvation of all other men, not on me. That I'm not looking to improve this home. That's heavenly home. It's the deeds that I do here that's going to allow me to get to this greater place. You see what happened at that very end?
Yeah.
I have to be selfish, not selfless in my method, because that's God's way.
Which there, brother Shaka?
I'm just saying, y'all.
Sister Terahasa says, we do this professionally all the time. I got the message on several levels. Good stuff. She ain't calling in, Shaka. I ain't gonna call in. I don't know what's going on. We do this professionally all the time. Because she work in a field where you need licenses. And we know licenses lapse. I know the pressure's on, but right now. You say that's I mean, really, that's the whole I'm gonna chill right now piece. It keeps us in a box. If we were to get out, we would be dangerous to the system. And the system has a way of and then warming us up. But we keep falling for it. You know what I'm saying? This dog keeps, why the dog not taking precautions? The dog is making himself a victim. He's victimizing himself. Victimize ourselves. And you know, going back, and Shaka says, because Shaka, I kind of agree, and I gotta stress this. As an individual that's interested in tribe building, people who help me build, when something goes down, those people get the first spaces. So like I said, if the winter comes, my tribe is getting in. It's going to have to, you know what I'm saying, if it ain't no room, you're going to have to go somewhere else. It ain't necessarily being selfish. Being selfish. Because my group... Preservation. Because it would be stupid for me on the outside that has helped build the home that we're talking. I'm responsible for them. When it comes down to it, you build a home. You're building a home for your group. This dog was building a home for himself, right? And you have an extended part of yourself. So when you're building something as a community. You got to make sure that your community, your direct community, is taken care of first. You know, the other way is not self-preservation. Open the doors to everybody. No, man, we need to learn how to start surrounding ourselves with those that's been putting in the work.
Man, we need to start watching The Walking Dead. That's all that is.
See, you know, well, actually, you ain't got to watch The Walking Dead. We can just look outside and see the shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Then we surrounded by zombies. Yo, boom, let's start building. Or as they say on that other show that Jackie was trying to get me to watch, winter is coming. You know what I'm saying? A constant warning, right? So it's like this dog didn't heed the fact that winter is coming. Right now, he's able to chill. And a lot of us, we always get caught when we should be on building mode. He couldn't build the house in the wintertime because it was too cold. And anybody ever in wintertime, you know that it's hard. Big sis is on the line. To Gye-Nyame Journey, Mr. Hassa. You got something you want to say on it?
The phone's kind of breaking up, so I'm not sure you can hear me.
We can hear you good.
We can hear you. It's Tim's phone.
Hold that down. Don't talk about my phone.
Thinking about, you know, what you were talking about in terms of protecting the parameters and contributions versus the people that do. It just like resonated with me because before my dad died, you know, because I've been in a constant process of like building stuff that get disappointed in people because people don't do what they're supposed to do or carry out their end. So my father died. Pierre Hassa, he said, "You sure do love Black people." He said, "But let me like explain something to you." He's like, "You keep trying to like load up a plane and then get lift off." Yeah. He said, "Because you're carrying people that don't contribute anything. Do is get in the plane and get lift off and throw out a rope, and them that's willing to climb can come in. Not willing to do anything, you need to leave them right where they at because they're going to contribute the same thing whether they're on the ground or in the plane. Nothing." So some people are really just mentally in where they are, and we want more for them than they want for themselves. So we can try to motivate, we can try to encourage, we can try to throw on a cape and be Captain Samaho all we want. The reality is it's a matter of separating chaff and wheat. There's some people that are not, I don't even really know how to say this, but you asked me to call. Like people is not people. Some people are stumbling blocks. When people don't produce the result that they need to be producing for themselves, they're not gonna do anything for you either.
They're going and leech off. You know what I'm saying? And it's like because we all seen this, man. We summer fever. I want y'all to get your minds off the souls that's listening or in the future. Summer season is not just talking about when it's warm outside. It's about the times when you have to do things with it. Those vacation times, you know what I'm saying? All of us got people in our lives that say they want to start a business, but when they get a little bit of tax money, you know what I'm saying? When they get a little time from, they're not focused on that. Then when hard times hit, they're wishing, and you can hear their dreams, and they'll tell you, and you already know, like, dude, you just talking. A lot of us, and some of the stuff we do the exact same shit. Our understanding is, man, our ancestors have left us warnings. Warning. It's letting you know, dude, if you want to live better.
Let me just let
better. Later. Work in now. That's all I want to say. Go ahead, bro.
I say. Now, Sister Tailhouse was talking about those who contribute. Look, and this how my mind is buffering right now, so I'm getting right back to the point. Okay, I handbagged a lot of my music over the past 13 years played against me, not just as a black man, but as an artist when I decide that it's time to. Back then, I could have made so much money collecting royalties and establishing more of an influence and contributing more to my community. A profound celebrity of myself, so that when I brought people into the mix, I had more to extend to them. The reason I decided not to is because I know I've experienced through, you know, and experiencing a little bit, and then you've got to go back to watching The Godfather of how just give them enough to function, because if you give them too much, then they start getting and against your stuff. You know what I mean? And that's the nature of man. That's not just a black folk was given. So it's really you're gonna snakes. But back to my major point. I would rather do it like right now. I can put out all of my media, all the messages, all the good stuff that I've ever written, and it'll do what it's supposed to do. And I remember from Spirit, the brothers from Atlantic City, by way of, well, they're in Columbus right now. They're here to Cleveland, and we went into the suburbs. We went to Shaker Square. It was just like off the movies. Like when you jump into like 90210 or something like that. The suburbs here in Cleveland is that superficial, where it's like it looked like everybody having fun. It was not comfortable there. Right? We ended up at my cousin's house on 77th in St. Clair, which is the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And he heard the ambulance going by. He heard the police cars going by. And he looks at me and he's like, you know what, Shaka? Now I'm comfortable. The rhythm of this place. I know I can be, and I know what the danger is. When I was in the suburbs right there, I didn't know dangers were around the corner. And so sometimes that's why, as a people, why we choose to stay in that comfortable place, move forward together, does take tremendous work, as everybody on the line knows.
Right. I guess a known devil is better than an unknown angel. That's the way the saying goes. But I mean, it's like we're not even talking about even changing, in a sense, the area. We're just talking about erecting so that we could survive. And and if we have been programmed to a point where we can do the very things we need, sustain ourselves, used to being like this, then what legacy can we leave for our children? You understand what I'm saying? We can't raise children stretching out in the sun. You know what I'm saying? You should be, you know what I'm saying? If I'm stretching out in the sun, because if I don't hustle, then I'm going to be curled up in the ball. I'm going to be curled up in the ball outside in the cold with me. Go ahead.
I do. Hang up.
Yeah, she said it was too much breaking up.
Okay.
Crack on my phone lines.
To you, because this is, I think at this point, there's a question.
Go ahead.
America, the systems that thrive all benefit from the profit of the treatment without extending a cure.
Right.
Tim, in nation building, in self-mastery, we want to appeal to the people a sense of a cure. If part of our objective is making money, are we so involved with the cure and not delivering them a treatment? Because with the same licensures, you, Terahasa, you can just change your position in the game. Treatment money as the other systems that are thriving. The cure is so important. Why is the solution this collective thing to us?
Because
if we can think for self,
well,
like Terahasa was saying about a father, was basically you get your weight up.
Now,
are we not dealing with the same candidates anyway?
But then every now and then you find that one or those two, those three. Like this, when I'm giving out the cure, some people like treatments. Some people don't want to be cured. Sickness they have become is who they are now. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time watching a hypnotherapy. Either I heard the story or I was watching, and the guy had this woman on the verge of breakthrough. The woman came back and said, if I let this trauma go, who will I be? Chose to stay. an unconscious state to hang on to the trauma because the trauma defined her. So a lot of people may not be looking. They be looking for treatment, and they may not be the ones that we even need to deal with. Good night, Sasha Marsh. We have to be clear on that. We have to be clear on that. And the issue for us with ourselves, people who want to be cured. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you can make more money to be sick and accepting the fact that they sick and pushing the fact that they sick and constantly have them running around and stuff like that. I would prefer the one person that I'm able to help and really move through that would prefer that method. Because those hundreds that are dependent on the treatment, when the balloon go up any damn way, because they're going to need you to load the gun for them, feed them. They're going to need you everything. It's just that. It's about learning to master the self. It's about learning mastery, and you can't learn mastery. You understand what I'm saying? You can't learn mastery when you want somebody to constantly be there to walk you through. Bold enough to take your adventure. You have to be bold enough to get your experience. You have to be humble enough to learn. You know what I'm saying? Some people ain't. I mean, some people.
So let me ask you.
Hold on. Terry House said, hold on. Terry House said the cure will never happen in the system. Will allow freedom or cure. The system survives on illness. Your turn, Shaka.
Oh, yeah, I know. My mind buffering again. That fast. What was the last thing that you said? I was gonna come in strong too. At the end, I was going, yeah.
You better leave me alone, young man.
What was he talking about?
Alone, young man.
Talking about cure, about the system. All right, we got to come back to it.
She said the cure will never happen in the system. It will allow freedom or cure. The system
right. Before that.
Oh, bro.
Before that, we was talking about.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
you know how.
Forget about it. We reset.
She had to call back in. Go ahead, Terry House. Your turn.
Shaka can go on what he was saying because the three of us really have had some shared experiences. And I think we grow from the experiences that we've had in terms of dealing with ourselves and dealing with other people too.
No, I'm still bitter.
Get over it. But I just think that the solution, people are looking for outside solution, and the solution is always inside. People, we keep telling people to go inside, but they're really looking for an outside solution. They're looking for somebody to solve the problem.
Damn, that's the thing. All right. Here, Hopper.
Go ahead.
Let me jump in while it's on my mind here. For example, I'm an opiate here. That's not my problem. Those opiates get down to my center right now. Tim, are you telling me?
That's where you go to hide. That's where you go to hide. Some people do drugs. Some people do sex. Some people do food. Feel relief from the oppression and the pressure that you're under. Things that people do looking for a solution, realizing that it's a band-aid and creates other problems. So by the time they realize it's out of control, it snowballs.
Right. Now, listen, what I'm leading to is that our society in a whole, politically and so technologically dependent that if the lights go out or fix, whatever it is, end of the day, address our addiction as being problematic, allured by this idea of self-mastery or alignment from a communal level, that individual go through the process without dealing with their addiction.
Okay, nobody gonna like what I got to say right now. But it's the truth. The reality is the only way that we're gonna get free to be able to do the things that we want to do to the system ourselves. Because the reality, as long as we got one foot in one world and one foot in the other, there's only gonna be so much that we can do. Stuff gets in jeopardy. We're going right back into the system stuff to be able to make ends meet and to provide for our family when we know that don't work. We're caught in the system to try to provide and survive for our family. What needs to happen in order for us to succeed and to succeed for other people? The system and just break those ties, period. But that comes with a whole lot of risk. The dog. Goes back to the dog. Having a job keeps us with just enough money.
Both of y'all know.
Most times to pay our bills.
When y'all have the resources to build a house, all you gotta do is tell me to come up. Right?
Yeah, we know this.
When y'all ready to build a house, I'm on it. With my tools, belts, everything. I'm ready to come and do work.
Hold on.
What I know is that we have the talent that we need to do this. We have the talent that we need to do it. Make ends meet and survive for our family on a day-to-day basis keeps us tied and connected to a system like an umbilical cord. And we trying to do other stuff on the side, and in the process get worn out and have crazy. I talked to him at Kwanzaa time. He was everywhere. And he was everywhere with his kids, and then I know he's got to go back to work, and then he's got to pay bills, and then he's got other responsibilities as a reflection of myself. It was like, how long do we expect to be able to do this? Because at the place we're going, we never going to be elders.
And you know what? I mean, and that's exactly, look, what y'all doing down there, like I tell accolades for this Kwanzaa this year. It really made me feel like I'm supposed to be in Columbus right now. My son was supposed to experience that. I feel like that. You know, and there's so much more there that's really drawing me to Columbus right now at this very minute. Is that I did one event, a concert event, a year ago today, being the stage manager, being the host and a lead performer, trying to get all the artists in line and the African dancers just for this one show, threw me off. The individual that was supposed to pick my son up from daycare did a show without him. The show started at 6. And that one thing, whole energy, I was not focused the entire time. I blew $7,500 on the show for a show that was supposed to be times what it was. My head was not even in the mix. And it's almost like our people are saboteurs unconsciously.
That's it.
And
that's it. It's agent.
Well, people aren't going to prioritize your things the way they would do yours. That's why the way you would prioritize your things. So that is because great grandmother, right? And I have a granddaughter too, so essentially I'm a mother. I'm able to include in a great grandma. Okay, I'm a mother. So I have to prioritize what I do, and I have to understand that the most critical thing is her. So now and everything else like works around her, and I prioritize. I got a hierarchy because I'm everywhere doing everything I'm doing. So I'm trying to work. Some of those days are long days, working from 6 in the morning to 9 at night, which is crazy stuff. And the agency where the head don't have no damn idea what he's doing. Hold up the sky to keep it from falling because you want to save black agencies, right?
Right.
But you can't save something that's destined to let fall. I went through that in ASAP. I went through that. I keep trying to save other people's institutions instead of using my skills and my talents to build my own. I'm always in a situation where I feel compelled to help save somebody else. Part of the thinking is, well, if you already got institution and you already up and running, then you need help more than I need to run out and go, because I can do that at any time. It's not turn around and turn into 60 years old and still haven't done it. So now at this point, I have to do battle with the fact, are you too old to do it?
Now,
that's the battle that I have in my head now. You know, would it be a waste of time for you to do it? And so I'm trying to construct in my head, but it's I have this thing inside of me where it's about saving institutions and saving people and doing everything for everybody but myself.
Yeah.
And caught up in that too, because we dish out to other people and other entities, having a lot of times those things and those resources that we need for ourselves.
Right.
And
you know
all
what?
3 of us do that.
You're right. And
all 3 of us do that.
Sister, let me say this. I mean, and through all of that, I still believe that collectivity is our ascension, and selflessness is our liberation.
Ooh.
Through all of that, if selflessness were not our liberation, we wouldn't have gotten this far. And we've gotten this far because of the work, because of the suffering, because of all the heartache that we've been caused and going through this. So at this moment, and me being the youngest out of the 3, I just,
you wouldn't have to say that, Hakeem.
Listen, I was just thinking the same shit, but hey, I'm gonna be quiet.
He got to remind us that he's a baby.
Right. I ain't got no problem
I'm
with that.
saying this.
I knew it.
As a baby.
That's his jab. He jabbing and shit.
I had a heart attack this year. Old man stuff. I got 2 stents in my heart right now, and I came back from the dead. I'm gonna just say it like that. All right. Y'all can whatever. All right. My heart stopped, and it didn't want to start back up. At one point, I was going with 2 chambers trying to work because the other 2, the bottom 2, said we done. All right, I was gone. And the whole piece is that when I look at what was going on in my life at the time that I could have not been here no more, custody of my son who's 17. I haven't seen her in 15 years. She's right there in Columbus. And that's one of the major things that's telling me, get down there. All right. This time last year, that was heavy on my mind. And these are the things that had built up and worked its way into enough stress to cause my heart to stop. So with all of that being said, we put a lot of heart into what we do. And me being the youngest and going through that, I'm saying that now it's time for us to really deliver the type of order that we are looking to achieve as a unit, as, setting a standard, nation building, where right now, that's people still come in very loose with their own ideas, wearing a t-shirt. But we have to set a standard. We have to be able to create not just the dynamics in our community, comes the tangibles, the outcomes where people can see the difference between what was here before. And between us, I feel like you said, Tahasa, we got the talent. Do we have the faith in the process? Do we have the loyalty to each other? Are we willing to sacrifice from this point to make every single move from this point a power move? If so, then I got my hammer, I got my drill, I'm ready to go. If y'all need some, listen, if y'all need me to play ukulele, kazoo,
I didn't know you
bongos,
could play ukulele.
trumpet, yo, I bring the whole thing, yo.
I hear you. Now for me, the whole piece is one, the selflessness piece. We might be doing a little bit too much of that because life happens life happens in between the paradox. It happens in between the light and the dark, the truth and the lies. All this stuff, I believe, happens in between the polarity. It's in between the polarity. So we don't need total selfishness. I mean, selflessness. We do need to practice some selfishness. And I remember one time, when I went to the Sundance with my big brother Elder Albino, he says, man, listen, you got to take time and pray for yourself as well. You pray for the nation, but make sure you slide in a prayer for yourself. Slide in a selfish prayer. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we spend so much time
we forget ourselves.
We forget ourselves,
we forget ourselves.
And we
like
can't,
a bar of soap, we wash away trying to wash up.
Right.
That's exactly what happens.
Right.
And that's what happened to
stop. I stop. You know what I'm saying? My whole piece.
But at that point, it don't matter how old you are.
And then you see, it don't even matter about your legacy, because the way we've been trained, they'll step right outside your funeral and start doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, boom, that we are doing what we need to do. Like I said, like that dog.
We're training people to take our place.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? You got the piece where you got people coming in, and you training, or you doing mentoring in your way so that you can have people to take your place. And another piece I'm gonna say, you're never too old to start your dream. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's all part of the system as well. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that I noticed, you start noticing a lot of elders start going downhill after retirement, because a lot of them invested so much time in what they was doing it affects them. And all I'm saying is that we might need to start looking at. I can't remember where I was going with that.
See, that's what you call mind
so we don't degenerate. Because a lot of my friends do time, like my friends that work for the state, they doing time just like the inmates, and then as soon as they retire, they die within 30 days.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And we can't be. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like,
but check this out.
And we can't be locked in.
Shout out to Dave Thomas. Shout out for Dave Thomas getting his GED at 52.
That's what I'm back to. You're never too old for that. When you're doing something that you're passionate about, the fountain of youth. You understand what I'm saying? When you're doing something that you're passionate about, and learning to balance that passion, using that Maya. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes getting in, boom, taking a break. Getting in, you know what I'm saying? And being wise with the breaks. That dog in the story, right? Could be chilling in a house during the wintertime, using that time to think of his next major come up. The dog might lay some traps so he can have some deer meat. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? But because the dog is always caught at the will of nature rather than at his own will, he always have to deal with the basic survival thing. All I'm saying is, the people we need to get out of. We got to get out of the basic survival thing. We know winter is coming. We need to go on and group up. We need to find our groups. We need to find our tribes and get people in the mind state to understand winter's coming, dog. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be outside crunched up, curled up in a ball, that's all right. But as for me and mine, we don't do that shit. That shit is unacceptable. I'm doing too much at work out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing too much work where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? We're doing too much work. So we got to make sure that we are always able to take care of ours. Because the most important thing for me
the thing that we
is
have
legacy.
to learn to do, Hakim, is to delegate.
And
we have to be able to supervise as we delegate so that we can step to the side. And we have to trust that what we give them and what we teach them works.
Oh.
So that will keep us from working ourselves in the ground, you know?
Exactly. I know.
Every Padawan. Everybody's got to do their Star Wars thing to find their Padawan. And you get them, and you work them, and you groom them, and then you step to the side and you watch. Then you got a consulting role.
There you
then
go.
We can move into being elder.
There you go. There you go. And that's the whole piece. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I know the system works. You know what I'm saying? I wrote it like I told Shaka the other day. I wrote a story. I wrote a story in the sense of folktale for all of my junior associates. You know what I'm saying? And it's called Make It Happen. So you get a task.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me how to do it. Make it happen. Just like when my elder gave me something.
Here's the thing for me. It's like when I was at Calvert, that's been what, 22 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I was at Calvert 22 years ago. Do you know all of those people that came through treatment are still with me, and over half of them are working with me now? They've gone on to school and done what they had to do and then come back and found me.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Counselors and recovery coaches and found me. That like their way of saying thank you. That was like 22 years ago. We done sent our kids to college together.
Right. And that's the way it's supposed to be.
You know?
You told them make it happen. You know what I'm
saying? So we know that it works.
Oh, it
we
works.
know that it works.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And the whole piece is, you know, we got the, you know, we're believing in it. Now we got to get them to believe in it so they can start developing it. Because like I said, it's about the legacy.
Well, I think it's easy right now because everybody's looking for sanctuary because their ass is on fire. Donald Trump then like created a situation where everybody gonna have to have somewhere to go.
Thank you, Donald Trump. We need a wake up.
We're gonna have to pool resources with each other. We're gonna have to like
oh man, listen, I'm thinking about for some of my morning shows researching how to live communally. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what is gonna come with these tax cuts, cutting into poor folks and middle class
too much money on food, we spend too much money on everything because we're trying to do independent instead of tribe.
It's all about the tribe life for me. But hey, family, it is 10:25. I got to get up and do the show in the morning, and I may be traveling a transition ceremony. My one of my aunts has passed away, so I may be going home to Accra. Shouts out to Brother Naichi. Shouts out to Latrell. Shouts out to Sister Patrice, to Sister Terahasa, and my brother Shaka. Thank everybody that took the time to tune in, whether you stayed the whole time, whether you stayed for a couple of minutes, whether you was listening live, or whether you're listening in the future. I want to let you know that we're here every Kuji Chagalia and every morning, the 5 days a week. Moja Kuji Chagalia Ujima Ujama. The work days of the week. We here at 5:15 in the morning doing our daily toast. And I'm just going to challenge you, whether you're doing the toast with me or not, toast your ancestors every day, family. Let's start developing that next rung in the extended family. Let's step on that forgotten rung of the extended family and start toasting our ancestors and bringing that energy back into our lives. And as a group, be the dog. Don't be sitting out in the cold and not making changes when you have the warmth of the sun on your back. When you that's right. You know what I'm saying? Do the change. Make the change. So yo, I need to let you know you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. This has been FFGF, also known as Folktales for Grown Folks, and this is a Heart of a Simple production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. So y'all have a great night. Oh, you did the Scooby-Doo laugh, man. I'm out, bro.
Peace.